Hello and welcome. If we are just meeting for the first time, my name is Sheila Folk and I am the CEO of Travel Industry Solutions. But I'm also a travel advisor just like you. In fact, TIS was born out of my own frustration as a new advisor and then as an agency owner who began to grow and scale my business. So today we're going to talk about checklists and forms, why you need forms, which forms you should have in your arsenal, how they can increase your profitability, and how they should be used to your advantage. So, first, let's start with how forms and checklists work to your benefit. First, they're going to improve accuracy. You won't be missing a step. They're going to save you time, which obviously increases your profit. They're going to provide you with a roadmap. They will also demonstrate your competency to your prospects and clients. You'll also leave no stone unturned when you have a checklist right in front of you. And of course, we all need our life to be easier, particularly today. So, what forms should you have? Let's start with the client intake form. This is the form you're going to use when you have your discovery call with your customer. It's what you use after your initial 15-minute meet and greet call. So, how do you use this form and why is it so valuable? First, you're going to use this as a guide during your discovery call. In addition to all of the great qualifying questions you'll have for your customer, such as what they hope to get out of their experience, you're going to ensure you don't miss the finer details about their preferences, their must see sites, their bedding configuration, their dining times, and so forth. When you complete this form while on your call, your customer gains trust because they feel you have covered so many of the bases. But you're also going to eliminate a lot of back and forth after the fact because you won't miss some of those tiny details. For instance, when I first started in this business, I booked a lot of cruises. And I can't tell you how many times I'd be on the phone with the reservation agent giving my customers details, placing the deposit, and ultimately that reservation agent would say to me, "So what's their preferred dining time?" I'd say to myself, "Oh crap, I completely forgot to ask my customer." So I'd place the deposit, I'd hang up, I'd call my customer, or I'd text my customer, or I'd send my customer an email, and I'd have to wait. And then once I'd hear back, I'd have to get on the phone, wait on a long hold, get a reservation agent on the line, and then enter in the preferred dining time, particularly because I wasn't familiar with using a lot of their booking systems. So, what happened was I was wasting a lot of time going back and forth, and I felt bad in front of my customer because I didn't ask them a very obvious detail. The client intake form is also going to serve as a guide for your DMC or your tour operator if you're using one to craft your customer's experience. So, what I do is I complete my client intake form and I actually send it off to my DMC or my tour operator so that they have a complete picture of my customer, in addition to a paragraph that states what they want out of the experience. So, when you are complete and thorough in your information gathering, you demonstrate competency and authority, you save time, and this ultimately saves you money. Whatever you do, do not send this to your clients to complete. Why, you may ask? One, you are absolutely missing an opportunity to connect and build a relationship. You are missing an opportunity to glean kernels of information through your conversation with your prospect or your customer. You're also placing the burden on your customer when in fact, your job is to guide them. Also, this is a huge sticking point with me. Do not place an intake form on your website unless you are being flooded with hundreds and thousands of qualified leads each month, and you need to find a way to weed out the tire kickers. Why? Again, you miss the opportunity to connect with that prospect and that future client. We live in a world full of tech gadgets that have created an impatient society. If you require a prospect to fill this in before having an initial call with you, I promise they will find another agent before you've even gotten to reviewing their form, no matter how much experience you have in a particular destination or with a product. Next is the traveler information form. Think about all the information you must collect from your customer and the time it takes to do so. How does this affect your profitability? How does this create room for error? How does this affect privacy and compliance regarding protected information? The loss of PII, or personally identifiable information, can result in substantial harm to individuals, including identity theft or fraudulent use of information. When you have a process for collecting your customers' information in one fell swoop in a compliant format, you take the burden off your customer, and once again, you become more efficient and credible. The next form everyone should absolutely have is a booking checklist. How many times have you gone back and forth between your emails, your trip record, your notepad to see what's been done and what hasn't been done? How many times have you had to call your suppliers over and over because you missed something in the booking process? How many of you have subagents or virtual assistants that need a framework for success? Having a booking checklist, whether you keep a paper copy, upload to a Google Doc, or upload to your trip record, will save you a crazy amount of time, effort, and frustration. Plus, you'll always come out smelling like a rose to your customers since you won't miss a step in their booking journey with you. The next thing is a cancellation checklist. I don't know how many of you have a cancellation checklist, but I can tell you this saved my life at the onset of COVID. How many of you had a hard time keeping up with FCCs and FTCs? How many times did you have to send the vendor policy to your customer about the redemption process? And that pertains to travel insurance. How many times did you have to backtrack to see if your commission was in fact protected and, more importantly, paid? And the travel insurance nightmare. Who was refunded? Who had a credit? How many days did they have to use it? I promise you, we are not out of the woods. Having a system for tracking the cancellation process, moving credits forward, ensuring your commission is paid if the insurance provider or the supplier has commission protection, will help you maintain some level of sanity now and forever. And the last form I want to talk about really applies to those advisors who are still piecemealing their FITs, and it's the trip revenue template. You know, every CRM has different functionality. Some display trip records in an orderly and organized fashion where you can see all of the components, and others don't. So for my FIT folks who do true FIT, not through DMCs or operators, this form is for you. I mean, wouldn't you like to have something to work from while building that FIT? I found a simple spreadsheet to track all components with gross and net, commission and due dates. Absolutely makes my life easier. Do I still use reminders in my CRM? Absolutely. But oftentimes, I don't have all the information I need in one place. So having a spreadsheet like this helps me to see the bigger picture in just a few seconds. So if you're struggling with missing details and deadlines, feeling flustered and frazzled, spinning your wheels, flipping through all of your notes, your CRM, your emails, and so on, when you organize, systematize, and streamline your business, you will realize much higher profit margins, less frustration, and more freedom. Stop eating into your time and profit and take that step today to get your business running like a well oiled machine. Checklists and forms are part of that. So, if you like our forms we've talked about today, you can become a TIS member and gain access to not only our forms, but an entire suite of solutions to help you cut through the BS and realize more freedom and more profit in your agency.